Breaking news changes everything in 60 seconds.
This is the W2 Report with Sanji Homura. Here's Sanji.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the W2 Report. I am your host, Sanji Homura. Today, we take a look at the press and what it means to have a First Amendment. But first, we go over the ground rules with Lord Crocker Squirrel.
Rule 1, be not the dick. Rule 2, if you are being the dick, please refer to rule number 1. Do not contact anybody that we're ragging about today. Do not be a stupid. Yeah, all of that.
All of that good stuff.
But just all of that. Because if you do these things, we will disavow your existence and inform whoever it is you pissed off that we don't know you. Whereupon we're going to find you and make sure you can't see anyone.
All right. Introducing our third man in the ring, Mr. Thomas.
I just want to say that when stuff was broken, I was in Austria during the breakage.
Right.
Also introducing Mr. Vaughn.
I mean, it really sucks that we're not allowed to contact anyone that we rag on, because I've already just contacted everyone. Literally everyone. By accident, I just butt dialed everyone. But it's fine, you know.
Well, it's fine.
As long as I don't hear any complaints, you might be okay.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'll stress that word, might.
Something we have very little of.
And introducing last, we have Mr. Lindgren.
Disavowing me won't do anything. I've already got enough of that from my family.
Hey-oh. It's going to be
and
okay,
our
man.
Question of the day. Do you read contracts before you sign them?
Only the title.
Well, unfortunately, Marvel Rivals happens to have had an open alpha during this last weekend.
Yeah, except that you're not allowed to disparage them.
Well, here's the exact clause for your records.
And amusement.
2.1, non-disparagement. The content creator agrees to not make any public statements or engage in discussions that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. This includes, but is not limited to, A, making disparaging or satirical comments about any game-related material such as game features, characters, or music, or B, engaging in malicious comparisons with competitors.
Compare?
Oh, the camper. Oh, fair enough.
I think his mic cut out.
Either that or he died.
Well, I'm thinking it was probably his mic quit.
Maybe.
Well, you know, it's entirely possible that he scared it away.
It's entirely possible that he was about to say something disparaging.
Or he just got banned from a country. Either of those could be.
I don't know about getting banned from this country. He'd probably get banned from Kazakhstan and or the UK.
He's already banned here.
Oh well.
I just
See?
told him. I just told the Queen he didn't. Well, I told the Queen's dead now, so that doesn't matter. But told the King he doesn't like tea.
That's what she wants you to think.
Talking to Queen Elizabeth and telling her about Sanji Amora at 3 a.m.
Look, it's cool, man. That's a video idea. We're doing it. That's next week. Next week on the W2
Ooh.
report, we contact the dead Queen. Bringing you
Okay.
news from the past.
Yes. By the way, we talk shit about each other when they're not looking.
Yeah, that's true. We don't talk shit about Thomas though. Thomas is a lovable guy. I've got nothing bad to say.
Oh, you guys can talk all the shit you want about me.
Oh, good. Well, in
okay
that
with
case,
it.
let me start with.
Okay, Mr. Third Wheel in the ring.
Or man in the ring.
Look, I'm just grateful to be called a man. I'm not really too fussed about the rest.
What was there a question about that?
Sometimes.
I'm curious now. You must know.
Well, yeah, I do get misgendered a lot. It's very fun. I blame my weird dress sense.
Ah, is that what it is? Well, I'm sure it's not actually.
What did he
So
say,
if a man
Mr.
gets
Gizzard?
Go ahead.
He's back.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
welcome back.
All right. So apologies for that, folks.
What happened?
Well, the internet crapped out on me.
Here we thought your mic didn't want anything to do with you.
Damn.
Well, it's the last bit of this little statement that that really drew ire of Brandon Lard today. He said, quote, extremely disappointed in Marvel Rivals. Multiple creators ask for key codes to gain access to the playtest and are asked to sign a contract. The contract signs away your right to negatively review the game. Many streamers have signed without reading, just to play.
Well, it does sound like a marvelous way to do it.
Ooh.
Hey-o.
I see what you did there, Vaughn. I
Okay,
do.
well,
I see what he did there.
Thanks, man.
Now, industry insider Miller Ross was on a podcast not too long ago, and both podcast hosts happen to have gotten hit with this clause.
Oopsies.
What's the punishment? Do they have to watch Madam Web?
Well,
Hey-o.
the punishment was they were the punishment was that they were removed from the content creator program for a short while.
Whoa.
A short while?
Yes. Because they were
In violation of Section 2.
section 2.1. Yes.
The second part of the punishment will that they will be forced to play the beta.
No, the second part will be they shall be required to play 2,000 hours of Kill the Justice League.
Oh.
No, that's too harsh.
Before they can get their creator privileges back, and then they have to sign the same contract.
Oh, if they do it again, then they have to watch Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Oh.
God, good God.
Or play Midnight Suns.
Well, that might work. Maybe.
Or play Rise of the Imperfects.
And my job here is done. Thank you for watching.
No, it's not. You have more content that you had to deliver that you were going to deliver.
That's
and
correct.
damn it, you're going to deliver it.
Uh,
You did not get me out of what I was doing in order to not.
well, faced with criticisms of myself among others, NetEase revealed plans to rework the offending contract.
Bullshit. They're gonna take that. They're gonna take that one out for 2 minutes, and then put it back.
Reword it and yeah, print it back.
With
One of the-
rewords in heavy scare quotes. Yes.
One of the band creators, one of the podcast hosts, Sada, was confirmed he was unbanned from the program, having never signed the contract to begin with.
Ha ha.
Oh,
See, me, myself, and I wouldn't have signed it either.
Is that because you don't know how to write, or is that?
See, if I'd actually read the contract, I wouldn't have signed it. Because fuck that shit. My opinions are my own, and if I think your game is shit, your game is shit.
Now, here's Jay's shock blast on the whole issue. I want to talk about this because many people may know, Sadot and I were affected by this. I don't know what happened or why we were initially removed from the program. I had signed the original agreement, but Sadot has not. We knew something new was being worked on, but nothing had been presented. We had Miller Ross on our after-show podcast, and we understand he can be a polarizing figure depending on which perspective you are coming from. But I want to make two things clear. One, he's their friend, period. And two, he is newsworthy. On that particular show, we went way over, which went three hours. We only talked about Marvel Rivals for like 10% of it, and then the tweet about the agreement came out by the Seagull guy. It was newsworthy. We didn't post it, but when it was out there, and I think we're all adults here, the genie isn't going back in the bottle. Because I signed the agreement. Because he signed the agreement, he started removing himself from the show while they discussed the sensitive bits, and I can understand that if that wasn't good enough. So when we saw in real time that our access has been taken away, it was a little jarring. Even then, I don't know. Even then, I don't think either of us bashed them for it. They just kind of laughed at the ridiculousness of the situation.
Well, duh. I'd certainly react.
Why did he sign? What was I supposed to do? It's a creator program. I've read through tons of these. I've had non-disparaging clauses. I don't take myself that seriously, and I knew I wasn't going to bash the game for clout.
Don't bash the game for clout. Bash it because it blows goats. Pictures included.
I take offense to people suggesting that anyone that signed it just didn't read it, because I promise you I did. And he had many conversations about it with other creators. In the end, I know he knows who he is, and didn't think it would matter, and knew the agreement was so ridiculous that if it did end up mattering, there was no way it would be that strictly enforced and it would blow up in their face.
So what's the lesson we learned from this, kids? Always
read your contracts.
But what if I don't wanna?
Then don't.
Okay.
And you
Then you'll
don't
find out.
read the contract, and you will assume responsibility for everything you just fucked up.
Wait, I just realized I didn't read the contract when I signed the organ donor papers. Should I read those?
I don't know. It's up to
Ah,
you.
he'll be fine.
If you don't read the contract, you'll be in the find out portion of the FAFO.
Sounds like a fun place to be.
The show ended. Sadat
Review.
Miller and I sat around after the call for 20 minutes discussing what took us past midnight, so I went to bed. He woke up a few hours later to a message from their team on Discord apologizing and telling me they were working to sort the situation out. Bullshit!
Yep, all the bullshit.
It's kind of late. It's
Oh no, that's some extreme bullshit when you think about it. It really is.
They're apologizing because they got caught.
Of course, they got caught. They were always going to get caught. It's just a question of who was going to try and publicize it first. Just so happens is these two podcasters.
I gotta say though, their friend really is polarizing. I'm a negative person and he's way too positive for me.
Isn't it ironic?
But for some reason, I find those kinds of people attractive, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
your
okay.
magnetism.
Also, plus one Alanis Morissette reference. Okay.
Now, he's given the excuse that they're based in China, but even I know China's laws don't allow for this bullshit.
Nope. Not a bit of it. Never have, never will.
Yeah, under China law, if they say anything negative about your game, you just delete it from your end.
Now, while I'm glad that they got their access restored, it still
It shouldn't
doesn't.
have been removed in the first place.
Yes, exactly. Why? Because there's this little known law called the Review Fairness Act. I think that's what it's called. Let me see here.
In other words, if I say a game sucks, then in my opinion, it does.
Consumer Review Fairness Act.
Yeah, you can't just scream at me because or hand out death threats because I didn't like a game that you liked or made or what the fuck ever.
Hmm. So what can I give death threats for?
You don't.
Oh,
If
okay.
you do that, then the thieves will come and visit you, or your
Oh, no.
local equivalent.
No, the death threats are for when they change game mechanics from what you liked.
Oh, okay, good. Good to know.
Now, as we present the knowing is half the battle bit,
What about the more you know part?
I think it got swept by the wayside.
Must have been, yeah.
You have the back.
Okay.
It's being revamped in the G.I. Joe reboot.
Ah,
Listen to your sensors, kids. Yeah.
And just let me throw out one more thing: pork chop sandwiches.
those are tasty.
Oh,
I agree.
oh, you don't know the half of it.
Oh, great. Now you're being polarizing.
is G.I. Joe being played by Chris Pratt?
No, it will probably be played by Prince Harry.
Excellent.
The
He's
Parks
got-
and Rec Chris Pratt.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, to be fair, Prince Harry's not got a lot going on, so fair enough. He's got a side.
Yeah, well,
He's
I
trying
get
to
the
get people not to
impression that
notice
his
him.
family would be more than happy to take him back, if
Oh.
and only if he ditches the ball and chain. Okay.
We don't want him.
How about we give you a first round draft pick?
No, probably not. But you know what? Again, he could probably do a lot. It would probably go a long way if he went through and apologized for being a moron, and then got rid of the thing that made him the moron.
Yeah.
He's too rich for that.
Yeah, okay. He's also titleless at this point, apparently.
Yeah, he's the royal formerly known
Yeah.
as Prince.
Oof. I see what you did there too.
Which was awful. I know. I'm sorry. I'll
Now,
apologize again later.
go be like a Frenchie and surrender.
Oh,
Now them.
Hey, you leave the froggies alone.
the views of
Alex
Sunday
Jones
Humor are not
says-
shared amongst the members of the W2 report.
Alex Jones says the chemicals in the water are making them gay.
And you misheard.
Well, that
it.
does explain France.
Mean turning them gayer.
Oh,
Now, if anything should come along of this, is that content creators should read the contract before they sign them.
Yeah. Well, that was always the case.
Yeah, but the problem becomes who approved this clause to be in the contract to begin with?
That would be an outstanding question. I'd like to know the answer to that.
Because I know for sure that any legal mind worth their salt wouldn't approve of this clause being in the contract.
Now, any legal mind with a brain in their head would have said, no, we're not going to do that.
So,
Now, any individual with a brain would go, wait a minute.
tell me more about this brain.
He hangs out with Pinky a lot.
It's one of those. It's one of those like mythical amulet things, whatever.
Yeah, that's what here.
I thought it was called a Brian.
I thought actually somebody once told me it was a it was the key to communication with the morphogenetic field.
Yeah. What do those words mean?
I'd tell you to look it up, but it's so pseudoscience that even pseudoscientists are going, guys.
I tried looking it up, but all I found was the ceiling.
Oh,
well, unfortunately for us, this is where we have to part for today.
Aw, no fun. Okay, fine, be that way.
Are you breaking up with us?
So between now and the next time we see you, you do all the YouTube things, but beware, the tax man cometh.
Hello, folks. This is Morgan Freeman. This concludes our broadcast day. I'm Morgan Freeman. Good night.